MAP4C 6.1 Using Formulas to Solve Problems. A generalized technique in order to be able to solve problems is the GUESS method. It's an acronym, and we're going to apply it to a problem. So we're first going to look at this problem. Example, substituting into a formula. These formulas give the height h of an adult in terms of the lengths of the radius bone, r, and femur bone, f. All measures are in centimeters. There's a formula for the height of a male or female, and a formula for, if you know the radius, you can determine the height, and if you know the length of the femur, you can determine the height. So the radius is the bone closest to the thumb, and the femur is the longest bone in your body, located in your leg. So the question is, predict the height of a female whose femur has length 40.6 centimeters. So back to the GUESS method. The first thing we're doing is looking for given information. The given information, predict the height of a female whose femur has length 40.6 centimeters. So we have the information 40.6 centimeters. But what is unknown? Predict the height of a female whose femur has length 40.6 centimeters. So we start off with a female, and we know the femur is the input value. So the unknown value is the height of the female. So next we use E, the equation. And this is the equation given by a female, and you know their femur length. Next, we're going to substitute. The information that's given, we know, is going to be substituted into the formula. And then we're going to solve by evaluating this with a calculator. So, you don't have to write this out every single time you do a word problem, but if you get stuck, it's a good technique to rely on. Some people like to write the formula. This is a different question. Predict the height of a male whose radius has length 28.1 centimeters. So we write our formula in general, then we substitute with the particular values for this problem. 28.1 centimeters for a male. Notice that the male and radius formula was selected right here. So we then can evaluate and get our final answer. Always include units in that final answer. Example, choose formulas and converting measures. A landscaper uses a bucket with radius 18 centimeters and height 18 centimeters to pour soil into a rectangular planter that measures 1 meter by 40 centimeters by 20 centimeters. How many buckets of soil are needed to fill the planter? So, we need to determine the volumes of each of these objects. In general, if we recall from the geometry unit, for a rectangular prism, it's the area of a base times the height, and that is taken from any perspective for this particular object. So, if we were to look at, for this right here representing the bucket, subscripts can be used to denote names of certain objects. So the volume of the bucket and the volume of the rectangular prism are of importance. So from geometry, we take the area of the base. For the bucket, the area of the base is which two-dimensional shape? A circle. So the area is pi r squared times the height, which is 18 centimeters. Substitute and evaluate. And for the rectangular prism, this is a prism because it has a two-dimensional face on the bottom and the top, and they're brought together by right angles. So the area of the base is length times width, and for the shape you can take perspective of the base from any direction. In this particular calculation, 100 times 40 would mean that 1 meter, which is 100 centimeters, so 100 centimeters times 40 centimeters is the base, times the distance that it travels, or height, 20, and substitute evaluate, you get this amount. Notice that the units are centimeters cubed because it takes cubes to describe the amount of three-dimensional space that is occupied. Therefore, about 4.4 buckets are needed to fill the rectangular planter. Well, we can get that by taking the total volume and dividing it by this volume of the bucket. So 4.4, it's closest to 4 buckets.